What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so I had a couple of you guys message me about. I think the YouTube channel name is, and I hope I'm not butchering his name, but I think it's Johnny Arnett, and he's an actual NBA historian. He knows what he's actually talking about, and he was going in on some of these. I don't like to say this in this context because of certain realities, but I mean, he was going in on some YNs, man, some ignorant ass YNs who, as they tend to do, pontificate about things that they know nothing about. I really, I don't know if I can, I don't know if I can accurately describe on YouTube my disdain and hatred for people who talk on matters in which they know nothing about and got the nerve to debate other people about shit, and they don't even do their fucking research, bro. You are truly an arrogant piece of shit when you do that. You know what I'm saying? So you had them make some all-time list about players they know nothing about, and they had Wilt Chamberlain at number 16 all time. And like I've said before, Wilt Chamberlain has taken a tumble like nobody I've ever seen. I showed you the prior list. Wilt used to be in the argument for GOAT. The actual argument for GOAT when I was getting out of high school into my 20s was Wilt versus Jordan. That was the GOAT debate. That has shifted over the years. As the center position has become less, the traditional center position has become more and more, I don't want to say vilified, but more and more stigmatized as a non-skilled position. And the only centers that really get any, praise are those that are these unicorns or these hybrids that have, some what was considered perimeter skill set, like can shoot the three, can pass. Although you had great passing big men of the past, but you know what I'm trying to say. Unless you're a Jokic or Joel Embiid, then if you're a center, then somehow you're not skilled. And unfortunately, Wilt Chamberlain gets a lot of that smoke, considering that he's of yesteryear. And despite the numbers that he puts up, and despite his achievements, you have people who will say, what he did really isn't that impressive. So I've seen this video where they call him a stat merchant, which I don't know what the fuck that even is. Like, what is a stat merchant? What is that? So are you saying that he just goes... See, this is how ignorant these fucking bastards are, man. So he just comes into the game, and his primary focus is just piling up stats. No, that's what your guy does. See, what you guys are really doing, a lot of you dudes are LeBron fans, and you're projecting what LeBron really truly is, all the negative shit, and you're putting on people that you don't like. If anybody's a stat merchant, it's been LeBron James the last couple of years. Because, one thing about Wilt Chamberlain was, and it is the case, if I'm not mistaken, I think Wilt won in his career, what was it? Close to 70% of his career games. So for a guy that people love to call a loser, the stats don't bore that out. The Warriors improved by 17 victories, if I'm not mistaken, from 32 wins the year before he got there to 49 his rookie year. But the media, the modern media, have successfully created this image and his narrative have run this narrative that that Wilt Chamberlain is this loser. When in reality, they should be talking about LeBron James, because Wilt Chamberlain never had the benefit of playing with all of these Hall of Famers. They didn't have free agency when Wilt Chamberlain played. He didn't get to leave the Sixers or the Warriors and go play with another guy. He had to hope that an organization would trade him. The organization had all the power back then. He didn't get to play with Shaquille O'Neal and Anton Jameson and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh or Kyrie Irving or Kevin Love or Carmelo Anthony or Anthony Davis or Luka Doncic. Dwight Howard, Rajon Rondo. He didn't get to have the opportunity to play with all these all-time great players. Russell Westbrook. What are we talking about here? And people love to talk about the fact that he only won 2 championships and then he has a losing finals record. Well, somebody else has a losing finals record. But it's funny how you YNs love to have convenient excuses for why your guy loses. See, it's funny how when LeBron loses, oh, well, I mean, those Warriors teams were some of the greatest teams we've ever seen. Well, those Celtics teams were some of the greatest teams we've ever seen. One year for the Boston Celtics, the team had 7 future Hall of Famers on the roster. And I've said this time and time again. If you really look at those games, you look at those series, while you can make an argument that there were some games Wilt could have played better, the big difference in those series was that Wilt's teams had to rely on him to score and score big. And if you're going up against the game's best defender in Bill Russell, your chances with the Celtics, in addition to having that talent around them, is in their favor. Whereas with the Boston Celtics, Bill Russell didn't have to score. Bill Russell's only job was to go out there and defend Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt had to do multiple things out there. To go out there and score. He had to go out there and defend. He had to go out there and rebound. He had to go out there and defend. While he also had the benefit of a Sam Jones, earlier on a Bill Sharman, he had the benefit of a Bob Cousy, a Bailey Howell, a John Havlicek, or a Tom Heinsohn going out there and scoring. And on any given night, with all those guys who are capable of putting up 20 to 30 points in any night, somebody's going to come out there and have a hot hand. And more often than not, that's what happened in Boston. The fact that those series were even that close is a testament to Wilt Chamberlain's greatness. People say, well, Wilt lost. Well, who else was winning outside of Bill Russell? It wasn't Bob Pettit with just 1 championship. It wasn't Elgin Baylor, who technically won no titles. It wasn't Jerry West, who only won 1. So what are you talking about? What is this conversation we're having? Oscar Robertson didn't win a championship until after Bill Russell retired. So what are we talking about? And no, there wasn't just 1 to 2 great centers. These YNs don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Remember, there were 8 to 14 teams when Bill Russell played. 8 to 14 teams, right? So you had Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Walt Bellamy, Nate Thurman, right? And for a while, until he left and defected to go to the ABA, Zelbo Beatty. And we had Willis Reed. So that's 6 Hall of Fame centers. 6 Hall of Fame centers in a league with, at the most, 14 teams, and at times, 8 teams. 8 teams. So a majority of the teams in the league had a Hall of Fame center. Now, you tell me right now, what Hall of Fame centers are playing right now? Joker, Joel Embiid when he's healthy, and that's about it. I guess Wemby's a center, right? So that's 3 out of 30 fucking teams. A league, by the way, which may expand to 36 teams in 10 years. So what the fuck are we talking about? Do we really think Jokic will be putting up these gaudy numbers if he actually had more competition in the center position? What the fuck are we talking about? I'm telling you, man, the discourse in NBA basketball is pathetic. And I hate to say this, it's starting to get bad in baseball. We're starting to see ignorant talk in baseball. Thank God. I mean, you have some people out there that are pushing back on some of this stuff, man, but it's just ridiculous. I can't stand fucking morons talking about shit they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I can't stand it. Stay in your fucking lane and talk about the shit you know to talk about. The fact that you reference 2K lets me know all the fuck shit I need to know about. You guys know what the hell you're talking about. The NBA instituted rule changes to stop Wilt Chamberlain. And you guys have a problem when I say he's the most dominant player in NBA history. They changed rules to stop this man. The NCAA changed rules to stop Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And it didn't work. Whereas the NBA has made changes over the past 20 years that have done nothing but help on LeBron James. As a matter of fact, you know what? Fuck you, LeBron fans. I'm going to do a video that I wasn't even planning on doing. I'm going to do it anyway, just to talk about how questionable that third championship ring is. I'm sick of you motherfuckers. Anyway, that's all I got to say about it, man. Salute to Wilt Chamberlain, man, the most dominant player of all time. Fuck all the haters.